Today, I'm 3 words. Frust. I went out, it was so hot, I was melting faster than ice kacang. Halfway, it started raining so heavily, my hair looked like a wet dog. By the time I ran to the shelter, it stopped raining and then became hot again. My hair became frizzy like I got electrocuted. Why is the weather so crazy? Is this what climate change is? Angry weather, that's also making me angry. I don't even need to go to the gym anymore. I just turn off my aircon, sit on my sofa, sweat for 5 minutes, free sauna. I lose 1 kilo. Is that why people are saying we must recycle, reduce and reuse? I do all those things and the weather is still bad. Now the younger generation blames the older generation for causing climate change. Is it us? What did we do? I don't know, but Mother Nature is angry, Kumar is angrier, everyone is so angry. So today it's Kumar versus Climate Change. Planet Earth has its own cycle of heating and cooling every 100,000 years until humans came along. In the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution saw factories, machines and trains use coal power. Digging up and burning fossil fuels flooded our atmosphere with carbon dioxide. Things got worse with digging for oil, excessive pollution and our need for convenience. Power supply, water usage, cars, planes, rockets. Temperatures are rising, storms are getting angrier, floods and droughts happen monthly. With global warming, polar ice caps are melting, causing rising sea levels. If we do nothing, many cities will be underwater. Luckily, we are doing something, building sea walls and elevating roads. We can't stop climate change, but we can slow it down. But the hardest thing about climate change isn't the solutions and the science. It's changing people's way of thinking. 2024 was the hottest year in recorded history, rising by over 1.2 degrees Celsius since the 1800s. In recent years, heat waves have become one of the leading causes of climate-related deaths worldwide. Wildfires, floods, and typhoons are also becoming more common and life-threatening. The ocean is absorbing so much heat, it's pushing sea levels up. It could rise by over 1 meter by the end of the century. Parts of Singapore could be underwater if nothing is done to tackle rising sea levels. So what's being done? Turns out we have already started our coastal protection planning and it could cost up to $100 billion in the long term. To build a continuous line of defense along our coastline, PUB is also conducting site-specific studies and consulting the public and experts to develop the best measures for the coastlines together. But is all this enough? No. So, intern Gigi, go out there and find out what people are doing to fight it. I am going to turn off my aircon and lie down, conserve energy.
Do you think climate change is real or fake?
That is real.
Oh, climate change is definitely real. Yeah.
Oh, of course, it's definitely real. Not only is it real, I think we're living through it right now.
I would bank on the side of being, yes, there is such a thing as climate change, but I wouldn't say there will be a great change in our lifetime. But maybe 100 years from now, 200 years from now, yeah, there will be a significant climate issue.
It's definitely real. I would say all the people who say that climate change are fake, they're either trying to be delusional or they just haven't experienced the true effect of climate change yet.
One mountain that I do climb is Mount Kinabalu. So when I went there about 20 years ago, I wore a warmer jacket. Now I can even go in a light jacket.
Did you know that in the next 70 years, sea levels are predicted to rise by 1 meter?
What do you think will happen to beachfront activities when that happens?
I think they will be very badly affected. Yeah, so people need to be more careful when they do sea activities also. Well, hopefully the government starts building a wall around, right? But does that mean that we end up cutting off our port resources, you know?
I don't think it will affect the beachfront. It will just affect our daily lives. Instead of cars, we will need to have boats. Then everyone needs to learn how to swim.
I think by then it doesn't affect me. I think by then I'm probably long gone.
How old are you this year?
25? If you talk about 70 years, yeah, I think before it happens, we will start to actually stop.
But it's happening now.
Yeah, I know it's happening now, but we don't see it now, so we just close one eye.
Do you think that anything is being done to combat climate change right now?
For me, I can see like the younger generation is being educated more on climate change, like on social media. People are talking more about it. I think that's because it might affect your generation much more.
Recently in the news, I've read that Singapore might be gearing towards nuclear energy because it's very land efficient and it doesn't release any greenhouse gases.
They are also educating people on recycling or using lesser one-time use products.
A few areas, they actually dig deeper drains in the sense that there won't be that much of a flooding at those prone flooding areas. So every citizen do their part, every nation do their part. You should be doing fine, I hope.
Do you recycle your trash?
Yes, I do.
So, as an individual, what do you think you can do to help slow down climate change?
Don't turn on the aircon when you sleep at night. It's so hard. I know, it's really hard.
Instead of taking cars, which release a lot of greenhouse gases, we can actually take the public transport. It's more efficient in that sense.
One person, recycle, live your best life, do the best you can for the environment. But there's a million other people not doing the same thing. 2 million people not doing the same thing. 1 billion people not doing the same thing. So how does that weigh out?
If one person make a change, I think about if 1 million people think the same thing, that's a big change. Yeah.
Hi, I'm intern Gigi. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? Single-use and very useless. Let's find out if our contestants are really prepared to save the planet. Intros, please.
Yes, I feel like a plastic bag and my name is Das.
Hi, I'm Isabel. I am not a plastic bag.
I'm not a plastic bag either. I'm Cheryl Miles.
Hello, I am Shane from the generation of plastic straws everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
You're why the world is ending. We're playing Sink or Swim today. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions. You have 10 seconds to discuss and write down your answers.
10
Sink or
seconds.
swim, okay.
Swim if you think it's true. Sink if you think it's false. Let's see if you're an eco-warrior or eco-destroyer, just like Shane and your entire generation.
Captain Planet.
Which of these is not eco-friendly? Is it A, avoiding single-use plastics? B, reducing food waste? C, recycling? D, conserving energy and water? Or E, buy less and consume less?
They're all eco-friendly.
Unless reducing
None.
food waste
None.
means...
Answers in 3, 2, 1.
None?
None.
None. I will say none, but
All
I
of them.
also believe intern
Are
Gigi is going to throw a curveball at us and that the wording of something was just slightly weird.
No, you're right.
Oh, okay, cool.
You're right.
Ow!
Points.
Okay.
Appreciate.
I'm very chill, if you guys didn't know
don't
that.
waste-
I'm
don't
very,
waste
very
me
chill.
either.
They're all eco-friendly, so make sure you do them all every
Yes.
single day. All right? Promise?
Promise.
Yes.
We try.
We
our
shall
best.
aspire.
Okay. Next question. Now, if we do all those things every single day, we will be able to stop climate change in A, 1 year, B, 10 years, C, 100 years.
I think must be more, right?
Yeah,
These are
no.
small
It's
things.
1, 10, or 100, is it?
Yeah.
All right, answers in 3, 2,
100 years is a
1.
lot, though.
Let's see.
I'll go with C, 100
Yeah.
or more.
Or more. Yes, we say not enough.
How well did you do in school? Just separate question.
See, this is when you get from A to A+, because I think the
out of the
changes have to
box.
happen on an industrial level and things like that. Not you changing your stuff at home is sweet, but it's not going to cut it.
But there's so many of us, right? So if everyone did those changes on a mass level, that would help. I
Not
think,
really.
the
It was a trick
environment.
question.
Not enough.
Trick question.
There
Yes.
you go.
Do we get it? Because
The answer is we can't stop climate change, but we can slow it down by being more sustainable. Next question. Which of these has the highest carbon emissions that's slowly killing our planet? Is it A, 1 kilogram of beef, B, driving 200 kilometers in a small car, or C, 30 minutes streaming a movie or TV series?
And there's only 1 kilogram, which the maths might be funny, but I think
Because you could
if I'm not
transport
wrong,
the leaf
beef
to
is
others
supposed
or
to be the
demand.
biggest polluter.
Want to think so far?
Carbon
Okay,
emissions.
answers right now. Let's
Oh, so
see.
sorry.
What do you guys have?
Mine was A.
Yay, copy us.
I think it's a transportation issue
Of the cow.
of the beef and the cow,
cow.
to
The
the,
entire
supermarket
process.
and the restaurant.
Well, the shocking answer is that all three options use around the same level of carbon emissions.
Streaming movies off your
30
iPad?
minutes of streaming uses the same as 1 kilogram of beef and the same as 200 kilometers in a small car. Next question. How much has the global temperature increased in the last 100 years? Is it A, 0.1 degrees Celsius, B, 1 degree Celsius, or C, 10 degrees Celsius? In the last 100 years.
As a former Earth Day ambassador, I think I have the answer.
Say
that again.
Earth Day ambassador.
Former Earth Day ambassador.
Wow. Okay. Answers, please.
I
3,
think
2, 1.
1 degree Celsius?
Earth Day ambassador is correct.
Can you imagine if you said that and then you got it wrong?
Yeah, the
The answer is between 0.9 to 1.2 degrees.
Yes.
So-
And if you turn off your aircon or something, or you turn it down by 1 degree Celsius, then you're doing your part to like offset
Thank you, Miss Earth Day.
something like
Thank
that.
you very much,
Thank you
Miss
very
Earth
much.
Day.
So, and I heard Miss Earth Day doesn't take public transport or
I think she
or
walk
drive.
here?
She walks.
She walk here.
from
She
home, right?
Wow. She walks.
No, I'm former Earth Day ambassador, so I took a taxi.
Next question.
Next question. How long does it take a plastic bottle to decompose in the ocean? Miss Earth Day, I'm counting on you. A, around 50 years. B, around 100 years. Or C, around 500 years.
Is there anything
I
about
got-
having
I
it
was
during an
thinking that
ocean
it doesn't
have anything to do
decompose
with it? Oh, so you think it's...
plastic.
Yeah, it will eventually biodegrade. Yeah.
Answers in 3, 2, 1.
A D.
Never.
Never?
Oh, that's a D. This is C.
Never.
This is a D.
Okay.
Never.
Mine is C.
You think 500 years?
Yes.
They would be right.
God damn it, Miss Earth Day.
It takes 450 to 500 years for a plastic bottle to decompose in the ocean. Now I have an interactive game for you guys. Are you ready?
Oh, we have to interact.
This is the last game. I will give you both a bag of items. You need to sort them out in front of you into what can be recycled and what can't be recycled.
Wow.
Please,
Is
each
the
of
plastic
you.
bag part of the thing?
Sure, let's say it is.
Okay.
You have 30 seconds and your time starts right now. All right, let's see. The first item that can be recycled, magazines. Magazines. Cling wrap.
Cling wrap. Yes.
Plastic bag. Okay.
Yes.
What can't be recycled is everything else.
That's where we drew the line.
No, you did
That was
not draw
just
the
there.
line there. Your
was
line is
right.
very far from there. You only have one item in the can't be recycled category.
Which is the battery, because once it's done, it's done. But the thing is, you can recycle a styrofoam cup and make art.
That is reusing.
Recycling it into
Styrofoam
art.
cups cannot be recycled. Plastic cups, only if it's clean.
Yes, it's clean.
Yeah.
You wanna try?
It's clean. See, there's nothing in there. You should put some food or like water.
If it's dirty, no.
Yeah, if it's
Red
dirty.
packet, you cannot recycle it.
It's
Can
bad
anyone?
luck, right?
Is that why?
Aside from that, can
Cannot
anyone
reuse-
tell me why?
The
Is it
printing?
the printing
Is it the
of
printing?
the gold,
The
thing?
gold.
Exactly. The glitter, the embossing,
Oh.
that can't be recycled. Next
Yes.
item that
Yes.
cannot be recycled, CDs.
Yeah.
They
We
can't
have
be
it right.
recycled. The last thing that cannot be recycled are thermal receipts. These cannot be recycled. Paper receipts can be, but thermal receipts cannot be.
Because it's thermal.
Today's winner, and the one
Miss Earth Day.
who are the new official Earth Day ambassadors are Das and Isabel. Thank you so much.
Appreciate Earth Day, but I prefer to be Mr. World.
Oh, I don't mind being Miss Earth Day now. Yes.
It must have been me. I must have brought you down because you are Miss Earth Day.
I'm disappointed in
I
you.
tanked the team. I tanked the team.
You should have done better.
Can you all say hi to Kumar?
Hi, Kumar.
Where's Kumar?
Since the episode is about climate change, of course, again, I have my lovely panelists.
People know that climate change is real, but they don't necessarily know what to do to help.
Agree?
They feel like as an individual, there's really not much they can
This is
do.
what people think.
Yeah, that's what people think.
Okay, for me, right, although I might not look like it, but I try my best to be more sustainable in my life. Like I use like sustainable products in my life, like tissues or like kitchen towels.
Reusable tissue?
Bamboo. You will use
non-bleached.
Yeah, but one fact I discovered about tissues, right, is that why it's white, right, is because you know the normal color is not actually white. It's actually bleached white, just so us humans are, because we are so used to the color
Like
being
bread,
white.
like rice.
Yeah.
So
The
what color is your toilet paper now?
brown.
Oh.
Pre-used is brown.
Oh no, after use become black.
Sorry.
Come on, Nadia, let's keep it classy.
I know. Hey, I know.
Of all people, of all people here.
Of all people, climate change queen. A lot of countries are going to go underwater in like maybe 30, 40 years.
Yes. A lot of cities are sinking. It's a big issue for Singapore, obviously. But I just want to say, the way I would like to say it is not climate change, but it's a climate crisis.
Yeah.
The climate does change. You know, every few thousand years, our climate will change, right? But right now, what we're facing is a climate crisis because we've pushed the planetary boundaries, all of them, way beyond what they should be. And to me, it's simple maths. It's always been simple maths because we have a finite amount of resources, right? We only have X amount of water. There will only ever be X amount of water. And yet our population grows and grows and grows and grows. We only have X amount of land, and yet our population grows and grows and grows. It's very, very simple math. I've known this for 30 odd years, and I don't understand why people don't get it, because it just seems like the most basic thing.
So what can they do?
Oh, the individual, what can the individual do? Reduce the way they consume is the easiest thing. People think that being eco-friendly or choosing organic products is expensive, but being vegetarian is much cheaper than eating a steak.
Yeah.
Right? Your clothes. Like I have a pair of shoes that I've been wearing for, 10 years. I still wear them almost every day. I have a canvas bag that I've been carrying for 10 years. I still use it almost every day. So it's not expensive. It's just a matter of choice, and it's a matter of changing your lifestyle. And it doesn't cost much. It doesn't cost more. In fact, it costs less.
Thought about this, right? In 2019, our previous Prime Minister, Lee Hsien Loong, actually said that rising sea levels are very, very critical, especially for Singapore. Why does it seem like no one really cares?
People are going, it's not my problem, what can I do?
Because it's so far into the
It's such a
future,
big thing.
Or they're
I
like,
the government
I may
handle
not
it.
be alive by the time Singapore
Yeah, exactly.
But it also,
my children will have a boat, so it's like...
Going back to what you were saying
That
about
idea.
why people don't care. There's this feeling that okay, I'm one person, I can make a difference, but what about the entities, the organizations that
It's the
contribute
corporates.
a lot more? Yeah, the corporates. They do have a lot of impact on the environment, but it's always down to the individual to make changes, even when we're already balancing so many things.
That's why
A lot of people say it doesn't matter what the individual person does. It does in terms of how you consume. But in terms of big manufacturing, big industry, big moves on land, on rainforest, deforestation, and stuff, those are huge, huge moves that contribute to the climate crisis. So you can't say that companies have no involvement. They do.
No.
They're one of the biggest leaders.
The
But
corporates are the main
worst,
ones.
yes. But individuals, it's also consumerism. You see how when a new phone comes out, lines around the building. I need to be the first one. It's that plus being trying to be trendy. Everybody wants to go like, I'm first, look at me, I got the newest thing. When actually the best, trendiest thing should be, I have not changed my phone since 2009 or something, you know what I mean? So they say, is you laughing? Because it's like, that is so old, oh my God!
It'd be very slow.
Yeah, so things like that. And industries and tech, they say, oh, the conspiracy theory is they will never let your phone last beyond a certain number of years. You know, and things like that, because it's always about making money. But why is it that we can't make money out of trash, make money out of pre-loved things? I tell you, any country with landfills, that is your gold mine right there, okay? You should be investing into recycling facilities that hire the local people and create business out of recycling clothes, recycling plastics, recycling anything and everything. Now, I see people buying cartons and cartons and cartons of mineral water in Singapore. So yes, okay, you need mineral water for my face. Find some other way to take care of your face, but seriously, because that plastic is not going
You mean
anywhere.
people use mineral water to wash their face?
No, not to drink or whatever they think is better for them, right? Or whatever. Maybe they are washing
Okay, understand.
plastic water bottles and or mineral water bottles. Those companies should try to find a different way. Don't use plastic bottles. It is insane how it's produced new plastic every day.
But you know the straws, the plastic straws that they changed to the paper one?
Paper straws suck.
It sucked.
Oh man.
It's very bad because after you cannot have a drink for so long because it becomes like wet and
Or like, you know, some food courts, they
you
don't
need
give
a
you
straw?
a straw.
Do you need a straw?
I have sensitive.
You don't need a straw.
No, she's worried about lipstick.
BYO straw. You bring your own straw.
Here,
I used to carry a straw with me all the time.
What can we do as a person?
Vote with your wallet. Corporates will know if you're choosing one product over another, and then they will have to change based on consumer behavior. Women, we're the ones who buy all the chemicals for the house. We're the ones who buy all the clothes for the kids. We're the ones who buy all of the food. Women have so much power, so please don't underestimate how much power you have as a woman, as the woman of the house, the main consumer of the house. You vote with your wallet. You choose the companies that are doing better. If it costs a little bit more, then you save in other areas of life. And then the corporates will know, consumers are choosing this company because that company is doing better. They've got they're perceived
So everybody
to do
will
better.
naturally switch to
Then
that.
then the corporates will have to change following consumer demand.
But then isn't that kind of tough to balance with everything that is, you know, rising costs? Like, I'm totally guilty of like going online and looking straight for the cheapest option. I'm gonna get that.
Fast fashion.
Yeah, and I think that is the struggle, because it's always good to vote with your wallet, but sometimes it's not the easiest, and I think that can be the struggle.
But like I say, then you just compromise in other areas. You just like, there's some things you cut back on.
But I think some of the main ones is handphone, clothes. Fast fashion is piling up around the world. It's insane. Plus, it's so
So how do you
bad for
solve,
the
what do you do
environment.
to solve the clothes?
I don't buy that many clothes. I actually look at my stuff and I go, okay, I'm just recycling and changing.
Oh,
There are a lot of clothes in our cupboards that we don't actually use.
Absolutely.
And a lot of them actually contain plastics and microplastics that then become like, they're in the air and we breathe.
I don't know if you guys know this, we are consuming 1 credit card worth of plastic every week.
Oh, really?
In the microplastics that are in our food, in our environment, every time we open the dryer door and there's all that fluff inside there, that's microplastics. And they've found microplastics in sperm, in breast milk.
On an individual level, and a lot of things you can do, like you can start thrifting, you can go thrift shop and buy other people's old clothes.
Pre-loved clothes.
Old people clothes?
No, other people's old
Oh,
clothes.
other people's
One
old
man's trash is another man's treasure. There's some of them are quite
There's
cute
some
these
very
days.
nice
Yeah,
ones.
they
do pop-ups all
upcycle.
the time.
Reducing your own personal carbon footprint, sort of stuff.
I mean, your suit looks like it came from a thrift shop.
Yeah, and that's nice.
And I mean that as a compliment.
Okay, fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, this climate change episode ends with all the advice Nadia has given, Bern and Harry given. So please follow. We can also do our part. Thank you. See you next episode. Love you.